be, hey, guess I might want to open up all the pieces and the parts. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I guess it's 7 o'clock. That would fall into the category of evening. I can't do my 2 o'clock live. It's 2 o'clock live. It's really not. It's 7 o'clock now. So I could say it's 7 o'clock live. It doesn't run, it doesn't flow the same. Those don't flow the same. 2 o'clock live, 7 o'clock live, the extra syllable throws me off. That's why I need to get a song that includes all the times. I need to get a song that includes multiple times. Anybody who's writing me a song, I'm open. I'm open to hear a song. I'm open. Okay. We are here this evening, Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, and we're going to talk about what does the market have coming this week. Some interesting, I won't call them obstacles, interesting things for the week. Let me make sure I can see my comments. Interesting things for the week. That includes, we've got some earnings coming up this week. We've got FOMC this week. Hey, Instagram family. Welcome. If you're following me here, I'm Arlissa. As you can see, I'm Educator2Trader. On my screen, that's what it says there. Yeah, that's what it says on my screen. That's who I am. That is who I am. Alrighty, so I'm going to cover FOMC or cover the calendar for the week. It includes FOMC, but that's not the only thing happening. I'm going to talk about earnings. We've got some big boy earnings this week, so I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to do some charting on SPX. Oh my, we did the SPX training yesterday, SPX and XSP. We did that training yesterday, and oh my. I know the people who were there are ready to go trade SPX and XSP tomorrow. Can't wait till the market get open. They got new strategies they finna go work. Because what we did was we had SPX in the morning, SPX in the afternoon, SPX in the evening. Listen, there's all kind of times that you could do SPX. I'm bringing it up here. I'm going to show you the graphic of all the things that were available, were available, and still are available on in the training. If you're interested in doing that training, getting access to it, you can see what did we do yesterday. What did we cover yesterday? I believe my screen is sharing. What did we cover yesterday? What did we do? All this good stuff here. SPX in the morning, SPX in the noonday, and SPX in the last 15 minutes. And we talked about how do we use XSP, which is a one spread for, a lot less collateral, to generate daily income as well. Listen, it was heavy. It was good stuff, good solid information to be able to be prepared to trade SPX and XSP every single day for profits. If this is something that you really want to be able to, trade for daily profits, you can go to my website, Educator2Trader.com. I think it's the second icon there on the website, and you can get access to that training immediately. You can be looking and you can be ready by the morning. If you go ahead and grab it now, you can be ready by the morning. Yes, you can be ready to trade first thing in the morning, be ready to rock and roll. All right, let's move on to what we do have to cover today, this evening. Good Sunday evening. Hope everybody had a really good weekend and you were busy learning, because as I was told, the money in the market is made on the weekend. The money in the market is made on the weekend. That's because you're studying on the weekend, you're prepping your strategies, you're looking at your charting, you're setting up your trades of when you're going to enter in the subsequent week. And when it comes time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whichever market day, you're just executing what you prepped and planned on the weekend, right? The money is made in the market on the weekend. Some stuff we might get in, all just jump, but generally that ain't the way we should trade. We should really be taking our time and studying and prepping for the things that we need to do, right? Okay, let me share again so that way we can move on with where we are. We're going to start off with the calendar for the week. What kinds of things are on the list for this week, the calendar? Okay, you know what? Let me do something so I can see, because right now I can't. There we go. I want to be able to see my comments if I have any. And listen, if you have any questions along the way, please go ahead and ask them in the comments. Ask them so I can see what questions or comments you have. Jump in. Yeah, come on in. So tomorrow, the 24th, this is the week of July 24th through the 28th, and things happening in the market. Tomorrow morning, we've got some red folders right off rip. 9:45, flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. That's first thing in the morning. Those are red folders. Red folders. Generally, red folders means high volatility anticipated. That's what that means. We're expecting some high volatility. And first thing in the morning, this kind of fits along with where the market actually is in where it is support and resistance wise. It has really gotten to the top or to a resistance level where it is set to come down. This manufacturing PMI might be the perfect thing to use to help bring it down some. Listen, I'm not saying the market's coming down tomorrow. I don't give investment advice. What I do is offer information and talk about the things I know. I'm just here to help, right? Please don't be trying to sue me. Arlissa said, well, yes, she did. It's all based on the things that I've seen and heard and read and all those good things. So it might come down tomorrow in the morning. We're going to go look at some charting. At the end of this, we're going to look at the SPX chart so we can see what it just may do in the morning. All right. So Tuesday, we've got HPI, and I believe this is the house price index. HPI, the house price index, shows up the change in the purchase price of homes with mortgages backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It's a leading indicator of the housing industry's health because rising house prices attract investors and spur industry activity. Yeah, the house prices, I've seen the housing prices have gone up, but they did kind of hit a ceiling and start falling back down with the increase leveling off of the interest rate. There did seem to be some movement and stuff going on there. Now, that's speaking of interest rates, that's coming up soon this week too. So 9 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, yellow folder, HPI, month over month, S&P CS Composite 20 HPI year over year. They're saying these are yellow folders, but that's sounding kind of orangish, right? CB Consumer Confidence, red folders at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Consumer Confidence and an orange folder at 10 for the Richmond Manufacturing Index. Those are Tuesday. We've got a red folder, an orange folder, and some yellers, even though I'm thinking these yellows probably are orange, but I'm going to leave it like it is. Wednesday. This is when it gets, this is when the Wednesday gets interesting. New home sales, orange folder, not too bad. Crude oil, yellow folder. Here we go. 2 o'clock, 2:30. FOMC statement. This is where we're talking about the rate hikes, federal funds rate. Are we raising the rates again? Is it time? We took a pause. They took a pause last month. I guess it was last month. Feels like it was only a month ago. They took a pause and decided to let it sit for a minute to see if that was going to give us some, was that going to help us out or not? And yeah. At this point, we're going to probably going to go up. Everybody's anticipating a rise of 0.25 basis points. We'll see. That's going to make a determination. Now, it says it's only a red folder, but they really ought to put 2 red folders there, because when the FOMC is going to make a statement, whatever they come out with at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, the market goes in that direction. Heavy volatility is expected around that time. The premiums are up. So if you're a seller, we like premiums being up when we're a seller, but we ought to be mindful of our trades when we're sellers too, because you don't want prices to go past your strikes. So as a seller, you want to watch out Wednesday afternoon. You want to be in your trades in the morning and be out before the announcement, or wait till after the announcement is over, whatever, and then see what you see and make a move based on that. You don't want to be in the trade at FOMC time, because your trade can go south, right? You want to be, if you're going to get in the morning, get out before the statement, and or wait until after the statement is made and you've got afternoon. Now, as sellers, we, theta decay works for us. So we can do trades at 3:30. So I did a trade on Friday at 3:58. So as a seller, them last few minutes, whatever the time is, we good, right? We're good over here. So that's what's happening on Wednesday. Wednesday is probably the biggest volatility day. Is probably what's happening there. That's going to be on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got first thing in the morning, actually before market opens, advanced GDP, gross domestic product, quarter over quarter, unemployment claims, 8:30. This is another red folder. Advanced GDP price index, quarter over quarter. That's an orange folder. Core durable goods, those are month over month, orange folders. Goods trade balance, preliminary wholesale inventories, month over month. Those are yellows, but all that happens before the market opens on Thursday. All of those are Thursday before the market at 8:30. 10 o'clock on Thursday, we got pending home sales. That's an orange folder. And 10:30, you got natural gas storage, which is showing up as a yellow folder. Maybe yellow, maybe orange. Sometimes I'm not too sure. Friday morning, core PCE price index and employment cost index, quarter over quarter. Those are both red folders, 8:30 before the market opens. Personal income, personal spending, yellow folders before market. 10 o'clock, red folder, beep, beep, beep. Revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment, revised UOM inflation expectation. That's a yellow folder. That's what Forex Factory has listed for this week. We got a red folder, at least one red folder on each day. You see that? Every day has a red folder. Boom, boom, boom. So you're going to want to be mindful. Not only that, I'm going to come here soon, but you're going to see that the earnings for this week is a series of series. A series of series. I don't think the plural of series is series. I think it's just series. So it's a series of plural series. That makes sense? Like octopus and octopus, there's no octopi for the plural. It's octopus for one and octopus for two. It's like series. Series for one, series for multiples of series, not series. Don't do that. Don't do that, Arlissa. It's not series. Okay, so Monday, the only thing I see different on the investing.com is the bill auctions. The 2-year note auctions is at 1 o'clock on Monday. Chicago Fed national activity shows up 8:30 in the morning. That wasn't mentioned on the other one. On Tuesday, I see CB consumer confidence. That was a red folder. That was there. Wednesday, we've got the new home sales, crude oil. See here, crude oil inventories here are listed with 3 stars. 3 stars. I talk so fast it starts to run together. 3 stars means on this investing.com means high volatility expected. See, high volatility expected. Crude oil. Then the FOMC stuff happens in the afternoon on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got the core durable goods. We mentioned that initial jobless came. That's all 8:30. 10 o'clock, we got pending home sales. 7-year note auction. That's showing up in the afternoon. That wasn't on the other one. Friday, we've got employment. I keep saying that. That's employment, not unemployment on Friday. Unemployment was a previous day. And Michigan inflation, we talked about that. And then the speculative positions, that's all on investing.com for Friday. So few things are different there, but not too many. All right, let's go look and see what the earnings has for this week. EPS Whispers, appreciate you so much. They always put out this great graphic, even though there's a whole lot of people who have earnings this week. They put together the graphic and include the highlights of which people. Hello, Janice. They give us the highlight of what's going to be in earnings. Janice, if you want to come follow us, you might want to find me over on YouTube. I'm at Educator2Trader, or you can get with me on Facebook so you can see the screen. All right, I want you to see the pictures. I know for me, I'm visual. Stuff will stick in my head as I see it. I can hear it, but when I hear it, I also form pictures in my brain. That's how I remember. So anyway, rabbit holes. Earnings for this week. Got a lot. See how full the chart is? The earnings goes in seasons or goes in cycles. 4 times a year they report their earnings. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. We are in the end of quarter 2 now. Well, we're reporting quarter 2. It's July, so we are in quarter 3, but we're reporting quarter 2. So before open tomorrow, we've got Domino's and Phillips. We've got some banks happening. Bank of Howell, Bank of Marin, maybe that is, Dynex, HPT Financial, Bank of Hope, and Ryanair. We got a few banks that were straggling from last week. And we got Domino's before market opens tomorrow morning. After close tomorrow, we've got Cleveland Cliffs, NXP, Cadence, Whirlpool, Logitech, F5, MedPay. Some of these I don't recognize, but that doesn't matter. RLI. Tuesday, before the market, we start getting some more names that I recognize. Verizon, General Motors, 3M, GE, Spotify, people who sing the songs, Raytheon, Next Era Energy, and Alaska Airlines. All of those are Tuesday before the market opens, right? Tuesday, after market close. Here we go. Go. Tuesday, after market close, Microsoft. Well, Microsoft has had a really big run up this week. They may do a little bit of pulling back. So just keep your eyes peeled. Microsoft may do a little pulling back because they had a big run last week with their announcement about that $30 AI plan or whatever. You got Alphabet or Google. That's also going to have earnings Tuesday after the market close. We've got Snapchat. Visa is doing their earnings as well. There's a bank here. I think it's bank. I can't see what the other words are. Teladoc. I could make this a little bit bigger. Wonder if it'll let me get it bigger. Yeah. Pacific Western Bank, I believe that is. Teladoc is here. Texas Instruments, and Weatherford. Wednesday, before market opens, AT&T, good dividend stock for those who do dividend stocks. Boeing, Coca-Cola, these are both dividends. Tilray, Thermo Fisher, Hilton. I think this is an insurance company. General Dynamics and Crescent Point. Then Wednesday, after market closes, here we go. We got Meta or Facebook, Chipotle, PTC Service Now, Innovix, eBay, Mattel, and the Wyndham, the people who do the hotels. Thursday before market opens, Royal Caribbean pops up, McDonald's, Southwest, MasterCard, Crocs, Valero. I think Valero is fuel. AbbVie is somebody who's in the medical space, pharmaceuticals. Honeywell. Thursday after market closes, Enphase, ENPH, Ford, Intel, Roku, First Solar. That's another one. I think I put First Solar on the list of things we were looking at the other day. T-Mobile is here, Skechers, right? And Friday before the market opens, we've got Exxon, Procter & Gamble, Chevron, Charter, Centene, AstraZeneca, Newell, and Chart. So notice there's a whole bunch of earnings stuff coming up this week. What does that mean for us though? Let's say you do or don't trade a lot of these things. But if you trade SPY, SPX, XSP, SDS, if you trade any of the ones who are like the conglomeration ETFs or those that have a bunch of these different ones in it, you will see that that basically those things, depending on their percentages, will move the market with it. Like, you don't have Apple on this week's list, but Microsoft is a big portion of the S&P. Well, I won't say big portion. It's got a good percentage in the S&P. Google, big, good portion in the S&P. These are the things you want to keep in mind, that even though Meta is in there, even though they're not, the hugest part of the S&P, but when these bigger boys, we call them the big boys, when they go down or go up, they take the whole S&P with it, right? I don't know if I mentioned Chipotle on Wednesday after the market closes, but Chipotle is pretty heavily traded. So my point is this: when you're trading the conglomeration things like we do, my community trades SPX and XSP a lot, then we have to keep in mind the different stocks that have a big percentage in the S&P. When they move, the S&P moves. So we're concerned. You look at the earnings to see what are they doing, so that way you can see how it impacts your stuff too. Yeah, that's what you want to see. How does it impact my stuff? How does it impact my stuff? Okay, so we covered the FOMC. We covered the earnings. Now let's go look at some charting for the market of this upcoming week. When I look at charting, I like to start from kind of like a bird's eye view or eagle's view, whatever, and then I kind of tune in. I only trade by the day for the most part, SPX, and we do that like on a daily thing because we do credit spreads. And everybody who's seen that, SPXplaybook.net is the strategy that we use, where we trade SPX or XSP every single day for profits, because they expire every day. And we do day trades with them, quote unquote day trades. We have a method though. We have a strategy. We use the PDT hack. And if you didn't watch my video, everybody should have maybe seen, check my channel. I have a video on my channel I released it yesterday that talked about how do we get around the pattern day trader rules, right? And you get around it by doing what's called the PDT hack. PDT hack. PDT being pattern day trader, and hack is basically the way around the pattern day trader issues. If you're somebody whose account is less than $25,000, then if you open and close trades, then that's a day trade for you. And you only get 3 day trades in a 5-day window. So if you are trading something 5 days a week and you open and close day trades every day, you can end up in PDT, where they'll just lock up your junk and be like, you need to sit back a minute and get your life groups. But the way we work around that whole rule is we do the PDT hack. And if you don't know what that is, then go definitely check my YouTube channel and look for the video I posted yesterday. And I think it's literally called the PDT hack, or how to be able to do unlimited day trades. And it's because you use this strategy. And I do talk to you. The video tells you how to use it. Look at that. I tell you, I don't just tell you about it. I tell you how to use it. How do we use it? Okay. So looking at the chart for this week, this is a daily chart, which means every candle on here is a day. Every candle represents a day worth of information about the SPX. On Friday, we closed at 45.36. On Friday, we closed at 45.36. So let's see, are we in the area for some support or resistance? Looking back, you always look back at it. You always want to look back at it. Looks like back here, we've got a gap that has been filled because we're above that. We're looking here. Our next level of, and I'm put a line up here. I'll zoom in soon, but I look from a wider view, and then those cameras, they zone in. So we got one here. This is a resistance, back here. Put a line right there. Look at that, right at that tip. Whoop, 45.82. It went up and hit it and turned right back around. It said, nope, that's resistance. I won't go. Heck no, I won't go. Then we're looking for some supports, and it looks like there's a little stop down in here. Let me go. Now I got to zoom in a little bit closer so we can see what happened over here. Get a little closer. I wanted to get out farther because I needed to see what was the resistance areas back here? It looks like it was 328 of 2022. So March, around the end of March of last year is where we were in this same area. Been a while, right? Over a year. So this is where we are now. Yep, that's last year. All right, now I'm zooming in. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're zooming in now, checking out. Now I chart support and resistance. I just look for the peaks and the valleys. I know that every line really is a zone. It's not just a line, it's a zone, right? And I remember this, but I don't want to put zones on my chart because then it makes my chart be all clouded up and I have a hard enough time making sure I can tell what's happening. So I don't want to add any extra stuff that I can't manage or remember what I put it there for. So looks like 45.82 is the resistance from back there. Let me see if I can go back and catch where I actually put that line on at. Where was it before? Here we go. This was, told you the March and stuff of last year. In this area, looks like with this top line was 45.89 was the top of these two candles. They created resistance back in January and February. And then higher 46.30 was created back in March, like I said. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Ooh, are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Nope. Did I pass it? Where'd my stuff go? There we go. I passed it. Blew right by. All righty. So here we are. Right. Come on. If you're watching, please. I'm not trying to make anybody sick by pulling it back and forth. We're currently at 45.36, like I said, and we've got some support right here at the 45.03. Makes sense. Generally, you do find some supports and resistances around the hundreds, those solid numbers, 4,500, could be 45.10, 20. Sometimes you get those solid numbers, 45.50. Somehow those, I've heard them called psychological numbers. Those psychological numbers will sometimes provide some support and resistance because the price gets to that number. It's like, oh, if we bump over 4,500, it's like now we're in a whole different stratosphere. So sometimes the prices do slow down in those areas and create support and resistances right in those, the psychologicals. I'm putting this on because there's a gap right here from, what is this? Okay, come on, grab hold. There we go. From, this looks like we're in the middle of 7.12, between 7.12 and 7.13. There was a gap up that happened right there. I want to edit this so I can make sure. There we go. So I can make sure I remember that this was a gap. I usually do green for gaps just so it'll help me to remember what that was. I change it to green for gaps. Okay, so there was a little gap. Oh, I don't think it changed. Edit properties, turn this to green. Thank you. Okay, so now between 44.72 and 44.90, there is a gap there that is below, right? 45.36 is our current price. Above us, 45.89-ish is resistance, and below is about 45.03 for support. That's what I see for the week, right? I don't get too deep into all of the indicators and suchy, but I did hear some stuff earlier today that the market is highly saturated, and so is the Dow, and that if we do any up moving, it's probably going to come back down. But all indications still do show the market as being bullish, but I really just put the zones on here, and then I trade what we see. You trade what you see. It's what you do. Hey, Gabby, you trade what you see, right? That's what we do. You pop up, you see what happens, you put on your levels. If it goes where it's going, you want to be mindful because you, as a seller, we're looking for where do we not want price to go, basically. We're finding the zones so we can get outside of the zones where we don't want price to go. If you're a buyer, you want price to move into certain areas, but you have to time your entries a lot better. I'm not as good with that, so I'd rather go with the selling part. I can see one more gap up here we need to fill in. There's a gap here between, there we go, between 45.54 and 45.63. There's a gap there, a gap down from 719 to 720. And that needs to be noted, because if the price goes up, it may go up to fill that gap. May go up to try to fill that gap for us. And you want to know that this was a seller's gap. It gapped down. So in gapping down, it basically left some sellers hiding in here. It jumped over them. So if the price goes back into this gap, many times it'll go up and grab some sellers and come back down. It may push on through all the way. Maybe on smaller time frames, you'll be able to see a little more of the zigzagging, but there's sellers hiding in here. 45.54 to 45.63, they got skipped over. Their selling orders got skipped over when it gapped down right here. So that's a gap we need to, be mindful of when we start trading next week on Monday. All righty. We've got some landmines. Like I said, next week, you've got FOMC, you've got earnings, you've got FOMC and earnings. And then you got the fact that the market just may be oversaturated, and you got to manage that as well. All right. I'm Arlissa. If you are on the YouTube channel and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It grows the channel. It really helps us to be able to spread the word to more and more people. It allows us to do what we do. My objective is really to share options trading with the world from the seller perspective. I am an option seller, so I coach sellers, right? There's a lot of positive benefits to selling. We do cash secure puts and covered calls and credit spreads. Those are our mainstays. We also do a little bit of shorting, a little bit. We don't really do a lot of bit of shorting, but we do some. We really use our cash secure puts, covered calls, and credit spreads as our main dealios. All right. Follow me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok. You can join our Facebook group, Educator2Trader. I have a membership that's going. If you want, a community to trade with, we have a community of traders. We do a pre-market call every morning. We trade together during the day. I have an exclusive Telegram for that community, and we do coaching every other Saturday. Right. Oh, also, don't forget, I do 2:00 lives every afternoon. Every afternoon, I'm on the horn, boom, boom, on YouTube and on Facebook. And I do 2:00 lives every afternoon talking about option stuff. So please, if you subscribe, you'll make sure that you get the notifications when I'm live, and you can be able to ride along with us along the way. All righty. I sure hope everybody's gotten something out of this. I want to tell you, in this community, we do two things. We stay green and we get this money. All righty. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good evening.